All right, Shalom. All praises goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikha Kodash. Double honors goes into the apostles and elders from Great Millstone that I've learned this truth from. Much love and peace and blessings goes out to all the hopeful elect that are teaching the word of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. As well as, you sincere listeners, men and women that are, recently coming and listening and building yourself up in this faith. So it's gonna be a lesson. I'm gonna do this based upon a news update where this was just yesterday that these devils out there in the land of Israel, the so-called JEW, a lot of them had got put to death due to a stampede. Right, I believe they were on this place called Mount Meron, and they were worshiping, and something happened to where it's some scaffolding or something fell, killed 45 people, and other people, due to the confusion of people running, got fucking stampeded. Now, when you look at this one context, it's funny to me, man. I praise Yahweh Bashim Shai when I heard this, because you rarely hear of, this level of judgment coming upon these people, because they like I mentioned, they're the so-called JEW, but they're really Esau. And Esau in the Bible is reserved for judgment to the last days. So you rarely hear of this type of judgment coming upon Esau, especially these people, which are the chief house of Esau, me being the tribe of Amalek, right? So the fact that the Lord is doing this to them, it's a sign of what's to come. Because pretty soon, these so-called Israelis are going to invade Iran and jump off World War III. But, anyway, the point I'm making is that this is a sign. This is a sign of what's to come. And when you look at it biblically from a few different angles, if these people were who they truly claim to be, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, this wouldn't be happening to them. Which shows you that them being in 1948 declaring the land of Israel their land is not a fulfillment of the true Israelites going into returning home from the scattering, from the diaspora, but it actually is a prophecy that the Idumeans, the Edomites, would have our land. And the Edomites did have our land in several points of history, even in the past, like the Greeks, when they colonized us, the Romans. But in this very time right now, though, this is when the Edomites took it over completely for themselves, because there ain't much Israelites to there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? They don't really allow Israelites to be in the land, because look, let me look this up, right? Hebrew Israelites. Hold on. Israelites kicked out of Israel. See this? This was 3 days ago. So this was just 2 days before the Most High set it up to where these fucking rats got crushed. It says, "This is our home. Black Hebrew Israelites in shock after Israel announces deportation plan." And you see here, a few dark-skinned brothers. These are the true inhabitants that's supposed to be over there. But yet these so-called JEWs, they call themselves kicking the true children of Israel out the land. You notice the paradox in that? The wickedness in that? And then the Most High, a couple of days later, brought this judgment on their ass, showing you who the Most High is with. So these Edomites, they truly believe that our land is their land, but really it's not. And Yahweh Shem Shai is going to bring more judgments on them and destroy them and place the ones that's supposed to be there. It says hundreds of buses stretched over, this is from CNN.com, back to the article, stretched over miles of winding road were ferrying thousands of worshipers off Mount Meron in northern Israel on Friday, after 45 people were killed and some 150 others injured in a crush at a mass Jewish gathering overnight. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the incident a huge disaster, while paramedics described chaotic scenes of administering CPR en masse to people, including children lying breathless on the ground. So this is all the scene of Yahweh Bashem Hawashai bringing judgment on these fucking people, man. These damn rats. So let's look it up, because I'm going to show you that Yahweh Bashem Hawashai is the forefather of death, if you will. He's the no, that's not the correct word. He's the author of death. This is Psalm 68:20. He that is our God is the God of salvation, and unto the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Lord, belong the issues from death. You see? So the Most High, he controls whether you live or die. He controls whether you get saved out of a situation. That's why these people didn't get saved, because Salakia. It says Salakia. So I mean, there you have it. That's a pretty that pretty much details the incident, because I don't have to really go all into it, all the factors, because this is a lot of reading. But basically what you got to know, all in all, is that the Most High judged these motherfuckers, man. So this is Jeremiah 30:10. Matter of fact, I want to look this up, Mount Meron, because this is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Mount Meron. Mount Meron is a mountain in the Upper Galilee region of Israel. It has special significance in Israelite tradition, and parts of it have been declared a nature reserve. Religious significance. The village of Meron and the tomb of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai are on Mount Meron, leading up to the anniversary of his death. Thousands of people camp out along the slopes near the tomb. Hundreds of thousands make pilgrimage to celebrate the occasion. Which that should show you that the Most High ain't with that shit. Because right in the midst of them doing this is the very same, celebration, if you will, to memorize this guy, memorialize this guy. They got put to death. All right? And not only that, this place is in the Upper Galilee region. When you look back to the scriptures, who was from Galilee? Yahushai. Yahushai actually was born in Bethlehem, which that's his country of origin, but he was actually raised in Galilee. All right? So you go down. Matthew 3:13. Then cometh Yahushua from Galilee to Jordan unto John to be baptized of him. So that's where Yahushua came from. Came from Galilee. And Yahushua is coming back. That's who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And he's gonna establish his worship and his praise in the earth. He's gonna put the man on top again, and gonna, the Israelite man, of course, but also, men in general. Every man is going to be a leader of their house. But of course, it's going to be the Israelites at the top, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who of course have that lineage on their father's side. Now, you do have Israelites in all nations, right? So you got so-called Chinese people, so-called Arabs, so-called Africans, even so-called white people that look like they're of that ethnicity, but really they're Israelites. You see what I'm saying? Yahushua is coming back for them, to put them on the top in a patriarchy, all right? So this is Ezekiel 36. Matter of fact, no, let me go back to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 30:10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, Yahweh. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and shall be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. So why were these people afraid, stampeding each other, if them being in the land was a fulfillment of biblical prophecy? Nothing, understand, this is why it says, nothing shall make them afraid. You see what I'm saying? So then again, that exposes the hypocrisy in that, man. The lies. It exposes the lies. The mere fact that these type of incidents are going on, man. And it only confirms what we believe in. It only confirms our faith that these people are imposters, and the Most High is going to get rid of them. Because, when you go into what they actually do, man, they are heathens. They don't truly reverence and fear the God of the scriptures. You actually have in Jerusalem, the capital of the Holy Land, the city of David, LGBTQ plus parades, man. And you know anything about scripture, the Most High strictly outlaws sexual immorality. Okay? This is Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power. Surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So this shows you that the Idumeans, which the Idumeans are the Edomites. And let's look up where it says Idumea. Says, hold on. Idumea in Hebrew is Adam, and it means Edomite. Edom, the elder twin brother of Jacob, hence the region of Idumea occupied by him. Edom, Edomites. So this is who this scripture pertains to. These people, which have what? Have appointed my land into their possession, which is what they did in 1948, with all the joy of their heart. So they actually, they're overjoyed at the fact that they have the Most High's land. You see, because to them it's a symbol of their victory. At least that's what they think. With despiteful minds to cast it out for prey. You see? And they casting out Israelites, like that Haaretz article was talking about how they're kicking out black Hebrew Israelites. But the thing about it is those people are not black Hebrew Israelites. They're just Israelites. They're the real people that's supposed to be here. And though, going back to, Dimona Israel, you had, African Hebrew Israelite movements that moved out there in the 60s and so forth. They jumped the gun on going back to the Holy Land, because really it's not the appropriate time for us to be there. We're actually waiting on our power, Yahweh Shai themselves, to save us and put us back there, because that shows his power, that, we're not doing this thing of ourselves. But just like the scripture said, as Esau did all these things, he got our land in their possession, right? The scriptures say he the Most High have spoken against them. You see? So this is Leviticus 18 and 27. For all these abominations have men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. And that's going into the Canaanites. The Canaanites were blood drinkers. They were idol worshippers. They committed child sacrifice. They were into homosexuality, lesbianism, all the dark arts, which are abominations in the sight of the Lord, which were before you, and the land is defiled. That the land spew not you out also when ye defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you. And what do you think? Look, if the Canaanites were doing this thing and they got destroyed and removed, and the Israelites got implanted there, 1 + 2 = 3. You heathens can't go about doing the same shit and expect different results. That's insanity. But a heathen's going to do what a heathen does. For whomsoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that commit them shall be cut off from there, from among their people. And which that shows you that these people are wicked as hell, because they going to honor some dead guy several fucking years later after you're already dead. Scriptures say you mourn for the dead 7 days. You know, you mourn as if you lost your own arm. And then you of course you honor those people. You could put them in remembrance, but that's off. That's like what do you call it? Idolatry. This is Simon Bar Yochai. I looked up this guy. This is who they were going to actually reverence, right? It says also known by his acronym Rashbi, was a 2nd century Tannaitic sage in ancient Judea. Said to be active after the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE, he was one of the most eminent disciples of Rabbi Akiva, and attributed many Orthodox Jews with the authorship, and attributed by many Orthodox Jews with the authorship of the Zohar, the chief work of Kabbalah. And that's all left-hand magic, demonic practices, man. Because the scriptures ain't dealing with no fucking Zohar, man. The scriptures say you're not supposed to add or take away from any of the words which the Most High has authored, man. So this guy he might have even been an Israelite, Simon Shimon Bar Yochai, but he's a demon, because these Kabbalists, they're behind all the wicked shit that are going on behind closed doors, that are going on overtly and covertly, like many of these Freemasons and so forth. They give reverence to the Kabbalah, because all that is magic, it's heathenism. It's a different form of that ancient Babylonian, the idol worship, the practices of heathen priesthoods. So that's why the Lord killed them when they're going to honor this piece of shit. Shimon Bar Yochai. Dude wasn't shit. So let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 12:3. It says, for it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh, and the feasts of blood, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew. And that's the type of guy that these so-called Jews are going to, JEWs were going to honor this guy. He's a priest in the midst of an idolatrous crew. It says, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls of destitute help, that the land which thou esteemest above all other might receive a worthy colony of God's children. So this is the same scenario the Most High is have happening all over again, but he's gonna, of course, have it play out in different ways. Most High gonna destroy all these Edomites and the residue, and of course he's gonna completely destroy America, to be specific, and he's gonna completely destroy the land of Israel. And within that, after that destruction happens, the land of Israel is gonna be inhabited again by the worthy inhabitants. Like it says, the worthy colony of God's children, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's children, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and all Israelite foreigners out there that may look like the other nations and so forth, but they are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So all praises goes to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, and Shalom.